Hello Python lovers. So welcome to another video. In this video we will be looking at working with strings in Python. So whether you are a beginner or you're looking to level up your Python skills, this video will definitely give you all the need to know or all the know-hows on how you can work with text in Python. So let's get started. So we're going to start very basic. The single and the double quotes. So this is an example of a single quote. This is an example of a double quote. Pro tip, the single and double quotes, they work exactly alike. So just pick one that looks cleaner to you and use that. Now let's see how to create a multi-line string. Let's say a multi-line string. This is how you do it. The double quotes twice, so 1 2 3, and then you add your text. This is a multiple line string in more than one line, and you close it off by still doing this very same thing here. 1 2 3, and that's it. So if you print this, oh sorry, yeah, Python 3 string no UI, and this is how you can write your multiple line string. Sorry, this is how you can write your text in a multiple line. So now this is really important for you in case you're writing a comment or you're trying to create some sort of short documentation on your code that you would love another person to read, or that explains what your code does. So that's where you can use a multi-line string, or rather that's where I have been using a multi-line string. Next up, it is concatenation. Concatenation, which means joining two strings into one. So let's remove this. Let's comment this out. And let's say we want to concatenate or want to merge single string and single quotes and double quotes. The way that we can do this is by doing single quotes plus double quotes. So if we print this, we should be able to see yes. So let's just give it space here so that it's more readable for us. And this is how you can do this. So this is one way that you can do this. Another way that I learned is for you to use the comma. So to still be single quotes, comma, double quotes. I can't remember if this was deprecated, but let's try this and see if it works. And it did work. So these are the two ways that you can join or concatenate. Yeah, that word is very hard for me to pronounce. So these are the two ways for how you can join two strings. Another way is using the f string, which I have made a video about, so I'll be adding it in the video description for you to learn more about. That one is string slicing. So slicing is like having a Swiss knife but for text, where you can reverse or manipulate the text with so much ease. And you can do this. There's some comments, so let's just do that. So let's say we want to slice the single quotes here. Okay, sorry, let's do the double quotes. No, we do double quotes, and then remember in programming we always start counting from 0. So if we want to call just Python, we should do 0 to 1 2 3 sorry, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's say 6. And if we run this, beautiful. So we only got the Python text from the string. If we want to go further and do Python Pro, since we stopped at 5 here, 6, 7, 8, 9. So once we change it to 10, let's run it again, and we got Python Pro. Okay, so now to reverse this string, that's the double quotes, to reverse it, so we just have to do this one, and when we print, it should just give us a scrambled version of the double quotes. And here it is. So this is how you can use slicing in your text. So let's see another way to manipulate your string. So now let's say we want to play around with, this time around we'll be using the single quotes. Let's say you want to play around with the single quotes by making every single text in the within the string to be uppercase. We can do this by doing dots upper, and if we run this, every single thing is upper. If we want to do lower, we just have to change this to lower. We run this, every single thing is lower. If we want to capitalize, we can change this to capitalize, and everything, and the very first letter will be capitalized. If we want to make it as a title, we can just use the title string method, and when we run this, it should be let's make everything small letters. So when we run this, we should see that it's made the very first letter of each word a capital letter. So this is these are some string methods in Python. There are definitely more, but these are like some key ones that you need to be aware of. So let's see another way to manipulate your string. Okay, so another way that we can mess around with our string is by checking if there's a particular content that we want in the string is there. So let's play around with the double quotes. Let's say we want to find out if Python is in double quotes. So we can do Python in double quotes, and this should either return a true or false. So since Python is there, it should definitely return true, which it did. But if we say JavaScript, of course JavaScript is not there, should return false. Now let's see if this is case sensitive. Let me know in the comments first before I run this code. Let me know in the comments what you think this is going to return, true or false. Okay, let me run it. And it returned false. Why? Because Python is case sensitive, and the Python that is here is starting with a capital letter P and not a small letter p, so that's why it showed false. Still on checking content of a string, we can check if our string ends in a particular letter or a particular word, or if it starts with it. So we can do double quotes that starts with Python, and of course it does start with Python, so it should through. But if we do small letter p, should show false. And if we do, if we do ends with Python, of course it does not end with Python, to show false. But if we say end with programming, to still show false because the first letter is capital. So for us to correct that, we change it to capital letter, we run it, it should say true. So this is another way that you can check the contents of your string, if the information you want within the string is there, if it's not there. I don't really use this much, but I feel like this is something that would be helpful to you in your Python journey. And string methods are not just all about changing your text within that string. It's also about modifying your text in that string. While you play around with working with strings in Python, here are two pro tips I have for you. Number one, always know that strings are zero index. I mean, they are just like every other thing we have in Python. Strings are zero index. Number two, strings do not string methods do not return do not modify the original string, it returns the new one. And by method I mean the dot upper, dot lower, dot strip, etc. And here are still some things that you should keep in mind. Now, number one, strings are immutable, which means they cannot be easily changed. And using method like dot strip, dot split, dot join can help you do some serious advanced string manipulation. And f strings, which I will be linking the video in the description, are very, very good for string formatting. And another thing, be very careful when it comes to case sensitivity. Like we saw in the code examples, Python is very, very like strict about case sensitivity. And if you try to use small letters where they are capital letters, you may not be getting what you want to get. So to wrap this up, this is a complete guide on how you can master strings in Python. So from basic single quotes and double quotes to more advanced string manipulation. And if you can practice these techniques, you would definitely have the skill sets to handle any text in Python like a professional. So remember, practice makes perfect. Try those techniques, experiments. You can also read up more articles on some string methods, which I did not mention in this video, and see how that could apply to your day-to-day coding. So drop a comment below with your favorite string method or your cool string manipulation trick that you've recently discovered. And thank you for watching till the end. Have a nice day. Bye.